Welcome back to Grounding God. So glad to have you here. Okay, let's talk about the fourth house, Cancer Moon energetic triad. The fourth house is the first house of the second quadrant of the astrology wheel. The energetic blueprints of the first quadrant, as explained in the last three videos, are the initial evolutionary steps in everyone's lives, our baby steps, so to speak, the successful mastery of which determines the mastery of the rest of the chart. If your ascendant, sun, and or moon are placed in the first quadrant, please don't take offense. This does not mean that you are any less evolved than others. In fact, my moon is in my first house and my sun is in my second. Anyway, none of us are influenced by our ascendant sun moon placements alone. We are all affected by and influenced by every house and every sign in our natal chart, regardless of whether or not there are other celestial bodies placed in those houses. In fact, house sign combinations that are not further influenced by additional celestial influences are often stronger in a sense that they are able to express themselves more clearly. They often express their energies in a constructive manner without requiring us to master or rise above any harsh aspects before they are productive forces in our lives. These metaphysical astrology evolutionary steps are needed to be understood when there are additional energetic aspects that cause blockages in the expression of a particular house sign planet expression, making them unconstructive or even destructive expressions in our lives. The second quadrant deals again with primarily with self-centered energies, but in the second quadrant, we develop our emotional body. Okay, let's talk specifically about the fourth house Cancer Moon triad. This area covers the universal forces affecting the energetic expression within our homes. They show us whether or not one's childhood home and primary caretakers, whether that's male or female, or possibly lack thereof, were emotionally nurturing or not. How the resulting experiences are the roots of our emotional health and well-being. Best case scenario, they would depict a home environment, past or present, that's harmonic, filled with people who are emotionally balanced, a healing place, a healthy place, not a place of drama, extreme, or toxic emotions. Emotions have the power to heal or destroy. Healthy, healing emotions or dramatic, destructive emotions. This is the area that influences within the fourth house Cancer Moon triad and how it's shown in your chart. The energies that are supporting or blocking your emotional roots and or emotional health throughout your life until they're mastered. That is, it can also be the basis for much ill health in your life, as well as the doorway to healing that illness. The secret to holistic health actually lies within the energies of the fourth house Cancer Moon triad. Simply put, the secret to holistic health starts with mastering one's own emotions. Extreme emotions, highs or lows, are damaging to one's peace of mind, physical health, and overall well-being. Everyone must learn to balance these energies in their chart. One has to learn to walk down the middle, which is very hard for a grab to do who walks side to side. Astrology, in its highest interpretation, can tell us how to overcome disharmonic aspects of each day, each season of our lives as a whole, by teaching us how to harmonize the various forces is pressing us to act out of sync each day. One must learn to resist extreme emotions by resisting to react emotionally. This resistance allows us to have a moment to consider whatever it is we think we know from all perspectives before we respond in a measured way. Then we can react in a balanced way that won't drain us emotionally and or harm us physically, even to the point of throwing off, us so far off kilter that we become ill. Yes, I know some people are born unwell, but that is another topic for another video. We are all different. There is no such thing as equality, not even in our own families. To keep from overreacting to situations so you can keep your equilibrium and your health. One must take the middle path in all that they do. No extremes. This does not mean not speaking your truth. Always speak your truth, but learn to do it in a way that doesn't make you ill and doesn't make those closest to you ill and doesn't make the person you are trying to tell your truth to close themselves off to listening to your words because you have an aggressive energy about them. This idea, the emotional energy that will keep you true to yourself and healthy and happy, is very close to the true interpretation of the Taoist symbol of yin and yang, as well as the Kabbalist tree of life. We must accept that everyone is here for a reason and be tolerant of that and be tolerant of people's differences, balancing and receiving, giving and taking in all ways. Emotional chaos, chaotic, disruptive emotional energy makes our hearts, minds, bodies, and souls disharmonic. It makes us sick. If we have harsh energy or energetic blockages in the fourth house, Cancer Moon Triad, we will have difficulties in the way we express this in our lives. I want to take a moment to discuss mainstream astrological schools interpreting the fourth house Cancer Moon Triad as also symbolizing one's mother, especially the moon. The moon is just that. It's a moon. It is not a planet. It is a satellite of the Earth. Its expression day to day is dependent on the Earth's movement day to day. Like a person whose emotional well-being is completely dependent on the expression of another human day to day, codependent, so to speak. The moon in this respect represents someone whose emotions are always changing from moment to moment. As a woman and a mother, I find equating the moon energy with the influence of mothers quite insulting, almost a throwback to ancient times when men were first diagnosing women with this psychological imbalance, which they termed female hysteria, which was a common medical diagnosis for women even up to the early 20th century. Look it up. The moon does represent the universal forces affecting emotional health in everyone's chart. Everyone. The moon is not representative of a mother, nurturing or not. If there is a planet that represents the nurturing energy connected to the expression of divine feminine energy, it is the dwarf planet Ceres, which metaphysical astrology includes as a personal planet. Ceres represents a balanced, nurturing planet, whether that be male or female, in all emotional aspects, a balanced and just expression of empathy and healthy boundaries. The placement and aspects of your moon is simply showing us your emotional health or lack thereof, and how that will support or impact you negatively until you are able to rise above any harsh transits or aspects in your natal chart, your soul blueprint. You can see how it is expressed in all your relationships, but particularly as a parent. Is it balanced? Are you at times too empathetic? Are you unable to maintain healthy boundaries for yourself or others or your children? That would be a clue. The placement also gives the answers to rise above, on how to rise above any unbalanced or disruptive emotional patterns. One can also look at dwarf planet Ceres to understand how what many consider our feminine energy can be expressed in a healthy way. If you are having problems with unstable emotions, especially when dealing with your family or children, your Ceres placement can show you how to balance your moon's emotional expression. Ceres includes many other aspects of healthy divine feminine energy as well, too lengthy to go into right here on this video. Anyway, your childhood is in your natal chart. Your soul chose your parents, your childhood, for good or bad, to learn lessons you wanted to master to become the highest expression of yourself in this lifetime. So unless you are still quite young, forgive your parents their shortcomings. Your soul chose them and all their strengths and weaknesses for a very specific reason. Your natal chart is about the expression of your life, not theirs. Don't look for reasons to crucify your parents in your chart. If they are still affecting you in some way, in a negative way, look to your chart to understand whatever the universe is still trying to teach you through their actions to help you evolve so you can have a more fulfilling life. Remember, don't use astrology just to predict cycles. Use astrology to rise above cycles and harsh influences in your life. Once you've learned your lesson, they won't have the power to affect you the way they once did. I know that might sound easier said than done. Like a crab, we must all shed our emotional shells, our emotional blockages, the way we protect our most fragile emotions. We must do this to grow. And like a crab, we must do this many times before we reach maturity. Before we're able to master our emotions to always, so that they're always constructive and always helpful to us in all ways. The fourth house, Cancer Moon, is all about how your emotional roots, your emotional health, our emotional well-being affects our mental, physical, and spiritual health and well-being until we master it by harmonizing all the surrounding energies. Next video on this playlist, we'll discuss the fifth house Leo Sun Triad. Until then, I wish everyone a healthy, emotional home, mind, body, and soul. And as always, I wish you a divinely guided day. Okay, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.